I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making that down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Every time it's on everything, the lie you cheesing, I'm cheddaring. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gon' stop till I rest in peace and they put so hard on my grave lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual van where my strength get pumped from. So what's the lie to the child of God? Standing toe to toe, hot now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock. I got the sauce, you want out of high. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength assassin, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have called me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as they is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game, so speed like the A train. The thing that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. I'm by myself, I don't gang bang. When you wanna get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that, I would chest it.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it up, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Good afternoon. What up, BFam1096.com? How are y'all doing? Facebook and YouTube. Welcome to Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I am your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. Here we discuss business and Bible basics. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. If you haven't already, head over to my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny. That's STALK, Your Destiny. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I go live or post a new video or short. Okay. And also check out other episodes of my show, the Tea Time with Tara show, where I interview guests and ask them what they need along the way to stalking their destiny. Y'all, some people's testimonies you just don't want to miss. You never know what you can get from them. So head over to my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny. Again, this is Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I'm your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. We do this every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you for being here today. I hope you guys brought your pens, your journals. Hopefully you got your Bibles with you if you need that as well. Do me a favor, comment in the chat, comment below. Let me know, where are you tuning in from? Where are you tuning in from? I know we have Sheila usually tunes in, and some of her coworkers also from Germany. Amanda tuned in. I don't know where she is in the world, and her friend, they tuned in. But let me know, where are you guys tuning in from? Is this your first time hearing about the show? And what do you think? This is an interactive show, so please feel free to comment or hit the chat up. We may not get to everybody, but if you comment on YouTube, I will go back and communicate with you there. Okay, so let me know, where are you tuning in from? Okay, where are you tuning in from? We're gonna go right into our affirmations. Hold on, I am getting a call that I cannot answer. Our affirmations of the week, which are sponsored by Tea Time Enterprises LLC. The world needs all that you have to offer. Now, with our affirmations, let me scoot up, y'all. Brian said he's in Germany, United States Air Force. Shout out to the United States Air Force. Thank you so much, Brian, for tuning in, and thank you for your service as well. So our affirmations for this week are sponsored by Tea Time Enterprises. The world needs all you have to offer, you guys. And so with that, what are my affirmations this week? Do me a favor and comment below your affirmations as well. I am, I have, I will, and declare what kind of day or week you're going to have, y'all. I don't know what it is. You can let me know if you feel this way. Today does not feel like Monday. I don't know why, but it does not feel like we're supposed to be live and on air right now. However, here we are. So what are your affirmations for the day? I am, I have, I will. And what kind of day or week are you going to declare that you will have? Okay. My affirmation, let's see. I am being brave, y'all, because I do not have my glasses on for this show today. So I am being brave is what I am. I feel like today I have a bubbly spirit. Okay. And I'm all for it. So I have a bubbly spirit today. And I will enjoy the beauty of this day because it's been beautiful from start to up to now. And I'm sure that it's going to be beautiful for the rest of the day. So I will enjoy the beauty of this day. Okay. And today will be a sweet kind of day for me. I don't know about you. Okay. See, I'm in the pink zone of color auras today. It's pink, it's positive, it's bubbly, it's bright. So today is going to be I forgot what I said. That's funny because I literally just said it. But it's a beautiful day nonetheless. Okay. And I think I said like pink. It's a pink day. Okay. I call it pink days because of the positivity. Pink is my positive color. So what are your affirmations? I am, I have, I will. What kind of day are you going to have? I think the kind of week I'm going to have is eventful, and I think that it's going to be something to look forward to. I think that this week is going to be something to look forward to. And I don't know about you, but finding things to look forward to, sometimes you really have to search for that. But this week, I don't have to search for it. I believe every day this week, something's going to be beautiful happening each day. And I don't have any plans for that. I just believe that that's what it's going to be for me. So what do you believe for yourself, for your week, for your day? Feel free to put your affirmations in the chat. I am, I have, I will, and declare what kind of day you will have. Today will be a or an whatever kind of day. Okay. So I'm just gonna keep this rolling. We do have a guest today, y'all. We have a guest for our business topic of the week today. So I'm looking forward to that. I am looking forward to that. Okay. And so hopefully you all are looking forward to it as well. We've had 3 guests on this show so far. And so each one has shared some very imperative information, very useful information. And so it's been fun having them on the show. So I look forward to having a few more guests on the show as well. Okay. So getting into our food for thought quote. Hold on, guys. One moment. I'm on my phone and also getting a message. Okay. For my guests. So I'm sorry, guys. 1 minute. Okay, I need to connect with my producer real quick. DC, did my guest sign in?
Negative.
I'm sorry.
No, ma'am. No.
Okay. Because she just messaged me saying she's ready when we are. I don't know what she meant. But okay, she's not in the back room. Let me send her a message to check her email. Hold on, audience. Thank you for your patience. Just getting my guest ready. And I forgot to bring my other phone with me. So I have to communicate on the phone that I'm on. Okay. So our food for thought quote today, you all, is this. It says, if you do not rise to the occasion, you will lose. And that's you making a choice. Oh, that's loaded. Okay. If you do not rise to the occasion, you will lose. And that is you making a choice. This is our food for thought quote today, which is brought to you by Stalk Your Destiny, where everything you want to become, you already are. Okay. And so if you do not rise to the occasion, you will lose, right? And so what that means is it says, and that's you making a choice, right? Each day in our life, we have to make so many choices. What am I going to wear today? How do I want to feel today? How am I going to look today? How am I going to behave today? Right? What do I want to eat today? Which way do I want to go today? We have so many choices in one day to make, right? How will I deliver and show up for myself, in this day? We have so many of those things. And so oftentimes we do have to rise to the occasion of whatever it is in place in front of us, right? And so, because you may not always feel like it, you may feel like doing something else. I don't feel like today is Monday. I could have easily just said, we're not doing the show today because I don't want to, but I actually was looking forward to the show today. Even though it doesn't feel like Monday, I still rose to the occasion of being present and showing up with you guys, for myself as well. And so if you don't rise to an occasion, or say, how sometimes we complain about things that we may not see that there is something we can do about it. Okay. We may not see that there is, because the something that we can do about it may be unconventional. The something that we can do about it may be something we really would not rather do. Okay. And an example of that is, okay, I've been running my business for 10 years and I'm just being transparent because it's my show. It's my platform. I get to share with you all, and I'm grateful for that. But I was running my company for 10 years. It'll be 11 in March, which is very wow for me. Okay, thank you. Which is very wild for me that I've been running my company for 11 years, working my company for 11 years. But guess what? As an entrepreneur, sometimes we have to step back and go, I need to do something else. While I wait for the seeds I've planted to harvest, I need to do something in the meantime, right? And for me, I would rather work my business. I would rather not do something else. I would rather just, do as much as I can until a bigger opportunity comes along or presents itself, right? And so in that, I'm making a choice to do what I can. I'm not just waiting and doing nothing. I'm waiting and working, right? But sometimes that requires you to rise to the occasion of do something you may not want to do. Send that email, make that phone call, right? Send out that resume for fillers. You never know what opportunities you can get to partner with other companies, or even work a part-time job while you're building your business. Okay. Or until that big opportunity comes in that you've been working so hard towards. Sometimes we have to do things in the inner realm. Okay. Sometimes we have to do things to fill in spaces and voids. And so there you have to rise to the occasion. Okay. And make that choice, because if you don't, that's a choice too. And you're going to lose out. Okay. And let's bring this to relationships. People are always it's baffling to me how much people would rather debate and argue with one another than rise to the occasion of saying, listen, this is what you want, and this is not what I want for myself. So I wish you well, but I think that we both need to find what we desire. We don't rise to those occasions respectfully. People are not rising to the occasion to say, I see you and I like you, and I think that we can do this. I think that you being your most authentic self and me being my most authentic self could walk together. We're not rising to those occasions due to ego or, religious thoughts, or desires or rules and regulations, right? We're not rising to these occasions for whatever reasons, and then we miss out. And guess what? You made that choice. You made that choice for yourself because you decided not to rise to the occasion. Okay. And so this food for thought quote says, if you do not rise to the occasion, you will lose. And that is you making a choice. Think about that throughout your week this week, you guys. Think about the decisions that you're making and whether or not you can do something to positively impact whatever it is you're desiring to have in your life. And listen, always go towards the positive solution. Wherever you put your efforts, make sure that they're going towards the positive outcome or solution of whatever situation it is that you're facing. I don't care if it's picking a meal or resolving a problem. Go towards the positive solution in that situation. Okay. So we're going to go forward with our devotional portion of the show. And today, initially, it comes from Romans 5:7. So I hope you got your Bibles or you're just listening in. I will read that for you. And we're going to talk. We're going to talk about it. Rising to the occasion, right? So Romans 5:7 says, very rarely will anyone die for a righteous man, though for a good man, someone might possibly dare to die. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous man, though for a good man, someone might possibly dare to die. This is rising to an occasion, y'all. Very rarely will anyone die for a righteous man. It's interesting here. And I don't want to even depict it. I just kind of want to say, what are you willing to do? I just kind of want to implant that thought. What are you willing to do? Because it says, though for a good man, someone might possibly dare to die. You would dare to die for a good man, but very rarely for a righteous man. Again, I don't want to, I'm just going to read verse 8 because I don't want to dissect this in the wrong way. So verse 8 says, but God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Y'all, that was a choice. That was a decision. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. And that was God demonstrating his own love for us. Okay. And so also like here, it just makes me wonder, what are you willing to die for? What are you living for? Right? What are you willing to die for? But what really are you living for? You know, because, you know, we can say like, oh, I would die for this or I would die for that. But would you live for it? Would you live your best life for it? Would you live and be well for it? Because I'm noticing that we can say things like, you know, oh, I die for mine. I do this for that, you know, or whatever, you know, trying to make somebody feel like you have the authority, right? But in that authority, would you also exercise the right to live well? That's what comes to mind with this for me. Would you exercise the right to live well? Christ loved us. Christ walked in love. Christ walked around teaching, speaking, giving, healing in love. But are you willing to live well? You're willing to die for some, I'll die, you know, or whatever, but that sounds good. But are you willing to live well? Are you willing to do what needs to be done to take care of you so that you can assert your authority and protection or whatever it is over whatever it is you would actually die for? You know, like if we would die for our kids, you know, if you would die for your kids, would you live well for your kids? Would you put the alcohol down for your kids? Would you put the drugs down for your kids? Would you stop working so hard and being away, causing them to feel neglect? Are we willing to live well for the very thing we're willing to die for? Are you willing to do that? Okay, it just says, very rarely will anyone die for a righteous man, though for a good man, someone might possibly dare to die. But God demonstrates his own love for us in this. While we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Just look forward to the example, y'all. Look into, I should say, the example of Christ's love for us prior to dying for us. Okay? Prior to dying for us. It's like no other. Okay? And try to be more like that in your living. Live well. Okay? And love well. Okay? That felt good too. Live well and love well. Okay? It'd be good for you and others. Okay? So, now I want to go back here. I don't know why I put these backwards, but I guess when the Lord gave me the timesheet, this is what he said backwards, okay? Now I'm going to read Romans chapter 5, verses 3 through 6. Okay. And it says this, it says, not only so, but we also rejoice in our sufferings because we know that suffering produces perseverance, perseverance, character, and character, hope. And hope does not disappoint us because God has poured out his love into our hearts by the Holy Spirit, whom he has given us. You see, at just the right time, when we were still powerless, Christ died for the ungodly. Okay, so now I do see why God flipped it because of the way I was explaining and talking about it. Okay, but this says, rejoice in our sufferings. How many of y'all are out here suffering right now? Suffering through things. Okay, like it's not easy. You can have financial challenges, you're suffering. You can have mental blockages, you're suffering. You can have relational blockages, suffering, right? But how many of you are willing to suffer through, powering forward in it? Okay. And not suffering through, y'all, not by no means of this am I saying suffer through in terms of like abuse. I mean that it's hard. I mean that it may be challenging. You know, it may be uncomfortable, right? So how many of us are willing to suffer through, right? Because that produces perseverance. So like I said, with me, building a business, most people don't make it to 10 years. Most people don't make it to 5 years in building a business. But if you had a dream in mind and you were working diligent towards that dream, are you willing to suffer through to get to the 10? Are you willing to suffer through to get to the 5? Are you willing to suffer through the first year of business? Because right now in the generation we live in, nobody wants to wait on anything. They just want success right now. And that's not happening all the time. Yes, social media makes it look away. But trust me, when you see people off of social media, that's not always the case. Okay. When they say social media stuff can be really fake, people are really rushing to artificial intelligence. We're forgetting we have brains that work. We're forgetting we have gifts and talents that work. We're forgetting that we can make the choice to believe in ourselves and go forward in what God gave us to do. We're forgetting those things. Okay, so are you willing to suffer through and persevere? And perseverance, that steadiness, that steadfastness produces character in you, right? So in years of time with me, with my business, you know, because that's the only example I have for you right now. Me with my business in years of time, wow, I've been humbled so much by business, humbled so much in helping so many people, yet being overlooked a lot. Humbled so much by constantly going out there and doing for the community that the community knows me, but the community won't show up for me. Are you willing to get that character in you built up? Because persevering through those things allows you to you still have to walk in love. You still have to be humble. You still have to believe in yourself enough to keep going forward. Okay, so can you do that? Can you suffer through? Can you allow perseverance to finish its work? That's in James. Allow perseverance to finish its work so that you will be complete, lacking nothing, right? Can you allow that to produce good character in you? Good character in you. That means don't get angry about it. You can get frustrated sometimes. You can wrestle with God sometimes, but don't get so mad that you stop, that you quit on you. If it's a relationship that you believe in, it's a person that you love and you believe in them, don't get so frustrated at the challenges that you can't take a step back and rework it, that you're unwilling to move forward because it's not your idea. Don't get so worked up in that, okay? But also, that character produces hope, y'all. And the thing about having faith is that without hope, where do you have faith? It says faith is the substance of things hoped for. That's in Hebrews 11. 1, I think. 1 or 3. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, right? And so let that character build in you to produce more hope. because as your character builds, you realize I can do this. I can actually do this. I can show up in this relationship. I can show up at my job. I can do the work being asked of me. I can build this company. Okay? I can be a millionaire. I can change lives daily, one at a time, 300,000 at a time, just by showing up. My voice matters. Do you know that y'all literally are proof that my voice matters? Every week you get on here and tune in. Every week you're positively affected. That is proof that my voice matters. That's proof of it, right? That gives me hope to keep going. That gives me hope that I'm doing the right thing. I'm going the right way with this, right? So take that with you. Chapter 5 in Romans is called Peace and Joy. Okay. And so I hope if you got nothing else from this devotional portion, that you got a little bit of peace and a little bit of joy ignited in you to understand that, yeah, we're going to suffer some, we're going to suffer, but suffer through and use it for your good. Okay. And rise to that occasion because you can relish in it later. Okay. So that was our devotional portion for the show today. Guys, if you want any of my books or my products and services, you can visit www.stalkyourdestiny.com for the books/shop. Okay, books and planners. www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. Okay. And there you'll find my book, ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny. Which I got all of from year 1 of this show, I got all of our food for thought quotes from this book. Also, my new book, ABCs to Stalk Your Financial Destiny, is out. Both books are interactive books. They are written in essay form from A to Z of the ABCs to Stalk Your Destiny, with questions at the end of each chapter or essay. So that you can do the work to change your own life. Okay. It's like having me with you, but not right there with you. So it's a piece of me helping you along the way to get to where you want to be in your own life. Okay. And so you can check those out at my website, www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. Also, I don't know if you guys are aware, but my Earthly Branches, a 12-book daily devotional. It's not a daily devotional. It's a 12-book monthly devotional series is available as well at my website. And 10 of the 12 are available. Okay, it's a 12-book devotional series, but 10 of them are currently available. The last 2 will be available. I'll let you know when. They're not even done being written yet, which I thought I would have a long time ago. So don't worry about that, but check out the website. Also, some other books I have on there as well, books and journals, y'all. I didn't bring my Tea Time Daily Journal with me here today, but that is a 30-day inspiration and affirmations journal that you can use every day to check in with yourself, the Tea Time Daily Journal. And that is also available at www.stalkyourdestiny.com/shop. Okay. We love having you all. We appreciate having you all live and on air every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you love the show and you or someone you know, an employer or business owner with a product, service, event, or anything, an upcoming something that you guys want to sponsor on the show, sponsor an ad for on the show, we would love to have you. You can go to my website, www.stalkyourdestiny.com, and you can see our sponsorship package at the bottom of Tea Time with Tara live and on air on that page. You can click there to become a sponsor. Sponsors can choose packages from $50, as little as $50, to as much as $500 if you want to sponsor the show. Now, again, this is your business, your company, your product, or your service. Also, if you just want to do a shout out, you just want to say, I want to sponsor an ad for a shout out. You can do that as well. Check the website for that. Also, it's on there on the package for sponsorship information. you can do that as well. Now, if you love the show and you just love tuning in, and you're like, well, I don't really want to sponsor anything. I don't have anything to sponsor, like no advertisements need to be made. But I would love to donate to the show because I do get something from it, every time I tune in and I just want to support it. Okay. Well, first of all, thank you for even thinking about that. And you can send a donation via Cash App at $ Stalk Your Destiny. You can send it via Venmo at Stalk Your Destiny, or you can send it at paypal.me/Stalk Your Destiny. Again, that's if you don't really want to sponsor an advertisement on the show, but you do want to support the show's production and on, airtime and things like that. Then you can do that at Cash App, Venmo, making a donation at Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal at Stalk Your Destiny. Also, you can now make donations on the website. So everything now is on my website, y'all. Please head over to the website, check it out at www.stalkyourdestiny.com. If you want to communicate with me, tell me what you think about the show or anything, and you may not want to do that publicly on YouTube. You may not want to do that on Facebook or in the chat with BFam. If you're uncomfortable doing those things and you just want to send me an email, please send me an email at teatimewithtara@gmail.com. Okay, that's teatimewithtara@gmail.com. I would love to hear your review of what you think about the show or your testimony of how this has impacted your life. Otherwise, again, everything else is on my website, the books, the planners, journals, sponsorship information, as well as donation information is at www.stalkyourdestiny.com. Okay. So, here, y'all, our business topic of the week is brought to you by Zeal Sweet Flavored Tea made with love. Okay. And so today I will not be teaching you guys today. Today we have our guest, Twanier Dawn. She is a mother, a life coach, an author, and a speaker with FulfilledYou.com. Hey girl.
Hi.
How are you?
I am doing incredible.
Good. Did you choose a topic for today?
I did. Today, we're talking about the dangers of misalignment and
Okay.
ways that we can try to get ourselves back aligned.
Okay. Well, are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, we're gonna pull me down, and you all listen in. This is Twanier Dawn of FulfilledYou.com. Did I say that right?
Yes. Well, hello everyone. It's so good to be here and to actually have this time to be able to talk to you. So I want to introduce a little bit about me, and I think it's important to introduce this because I feel like we all have a little bit about ourselves that is really important. Sometimes we kind of neglect to look at the little things, the little details, the little things that that we like, and we think, oh, it's not that big, oh, it's not that important. But I'm going to share some of the things that make me spark, and then I'll move right into the topic. So I am Twanier Dawn, and I have 7 kids that I've birthed from my body. I love sitting by the brook and listening to the water. I am learning how to salsa dance. I love to dance, but now I'm learning how to salsa dance and have a little bit more structure. My main dancing that I love to do is just freestyling, whatever comes to my head. But now I'm learning to have a little more structure in the things that I do. I love puzzles, and I love listening. What do I do? Well, Tara told you I am a life coach and a speaker, and I help people find their spark. I help them to go from I don't know what to do I'm not exactly sure. Like, I have this. It's a lot of times it's the people, the ones that I love to work with the most, is the people that have that dream, but it's just so buried under life, and life and responsibilities and all of the things that kind of they just kind of have a little layer there, but it's always there. That dream is always there. That vision is always there, but sometimes we're not able to see it. I love working with those people. Um, and why do I do it? Because I love seeing people win. And I know that everybody has the opportunity to win. Even if we don't believe that we have the opportunity, even if we feel like, you know, we've gone too far, we've had too much life happen to us, we have too much, on our plate. God gives us all the ability to win, and I love working with people that love that I love working with people to see them win. I love seeing people win. And so today I'm going to be talking about misalignment, kind of how we get there, and then how we can find our way out of misalignment. So the other day I was listening to this teacher speaking, and she was telling everyone that she's going through physical therapy. And she's like, I've come so far, because when I first started, I couldn't even lift my hands over my head. And I was like, man, that's serious. You can't lift your hands over your head. And but what happened in there, somewhere along the way, she became misaligned. And a lot of times it's a little here, a little there, and we just kind of neglect it. We neglect to take care of it. And so I'm quite sure that one day she didn't wake up and she couldn't lift her hand over her head. I'm very sure. I didn't ask her, but normally it doesn't happen that way. That you just one day you just can't. And in fact, for me, I haven't had it where I can't lift my hand over my head, but I was having this back trouble. And so one day I was cleaning up, and the smallest little gesture, I was picking up the smallest little amount of clothes, and I just twisted my body just a little bit, and I felt this pain just shoot up my back, and I ignored it. And I just went on about my business. I was cleaning up, trying to hurry up and finish before I had someone coming over to check out my space so that they can do some work on my home. And I'm like, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. So I'm moving and I'm doing this, and I go to move something else. It's not heavy. What I'm trying to pick up is not heavy at all. It's just something that's just a little something, and I kind of twist my body to pick that thing up. I felt that shoot right up my back again. And that one took me out. It took me out for days. I literally could not walk to the bathroom. I could not walk. To get to the bathroom, I literally had to crawl. If I was to have any walking ability, I literally had to have someone to hold my hand. And that was because I ignored it. I ignored the fact that there was something going on. I ignored the fact that I should have been paying attention to my body. I ignored the fact that I probably should be exercising. And in fact, once I recognized that this kept occurring, because that was the first day where I just couldn't walk. But I had other moments where I wasn't, I was able to not be able to breathe very well, and just little things that were happening where it was just problems with my back. And I came to the conclusion that what I need to do is start working out. And I need to strengthen my body. I need to get my body realigned, because when we neglect to take care of ourselves and take care of the things that those little sparks in us, and say, hey, I love this thing. I love to, like I said, I love to sit by the brook. When I don't take those times to sit by the brook, I don't take those times to do my puzzles, or take the time to spend time with my kids, like my life gets misaligned. And so it's so important for us to look at those things. What are some of the things that we're doing in our lives that we have become misaligned? Where it can also be, it could be in just little spaces where I was saying, where I just wasn't able to breathe as well, or I felt the pain shoot up my back, but I could still move, I could still get things done. And a lot of times what we do is we neglect to pay attention to our little sparks, the things that we feel like, the little things that God puts in our hearts to do, and we bury them. We bury them under responsibility. We bury them um, under things that what other people tell us we need to do. We bury them under other people's opinions. We bury them under our judgment of fear. We bury them under our own lack of um, of time to actually build the muscle, because we don't know how to do it. So we were like, oh, and then the more we don't do what God has called us to do, the more we neglect to walk in our spark, the further we get away from alignment. And we become so misaligned that we no longer know where our north is. We no longer are able to pay attention to the things that give us that spark. And sometimes we might even forget what those things are, because we haven't done them in so long. And we say, oh, well, I haven't done that in 20 years. And it's so easy, like, to, as an adult, it is so easy. And I never thought about this, but it's so easy to get to 20 years. because one day it goes, one day it comes by, and then a week, and then a month, and then years, and then it's decades, and you're just like, how did I get to here? How did I get so far away from the alignment of me, of myself, of my calling, of what God has given me? How did I get so far away from it that I no longer know how to dream, that I no longer can see the vision that God has for me, that I now am afraid to do the things that just came so naturally to me? And I just want to say this, that it's easy to get there, but it's also, I'm not going to say it's easy to get out of, but it is simple to get out of. It is simple to come back into alignment. It takes a little work on our behalf, and it takes a little intentionality, a little muscle building. And when I say muscle, I'm speaking not necessarily our physical muscles, and sometimes it can be our physical muscles, or physical, just like for me, I had to build my physical muscles so my back wouldn't keep going out. And I'm so happy, no bad back things have happened in a few months. So I'm so happy about that. But I'm speaking more of like mental and spiritual alignment. It's easy to get back and build that muscle. It's simple too. I mean, everything that is simple is not always easy, but if you stick with it, you'll be able to see the results for it. And so here's a few things that we can do to get out of that misalignment and into alignment. One thing is to really pay attention. Pay attention to, one thing that I love to do is to pay attention to what I know that I've always loved. Like, since I was a little girl, if I knew how to do something, I love teach people what I knew how to do. So my thing that I love is teaching. So if I know how to do it, I'm gonna teach someone how to do it. And a lot of times we don't take the time to look at the little things about us, and we think it has to be something really big when it really doesn't. We think it has to be something showy, and it doesn't. Like another thing that for me is I love to listen. I've been listening to people since I'm the oldest, so and there was like this big gap between my older cousins and then there was me, and so I was kind of by myself, and so I just listened to adults all the time. I love to listen, and so I learned things from listening to people, and I learned about people's the influx in their voices and how they're able to what's important to them, what's not important to them by just listening. And one thing that really gets us into alignment is looking at those things. What are the little things about us that we don't necessarily pay attention to, and people don't necessarily give credit to, but they're valuable, like being a listener, being like, I don't necessarily like to cook specifically, but people that do love to cook, like those little things that give you that spark, like when you do it, it's just like, wow, this feels awesome. And look for those little things and just walk in them. You don't have to necessarily make a career out of it. You don't necessarily have to put it in enter a competition or anything like that. But if we can take the time to really pay attention to the details of what makes us spark, what is important to us, we can get so much further in our world and get out of the misalignment. Another thing that we can do is to really pay attention to the resources that we have around us. Sometimes when we've gone away from something for so long, we kind of not sure of how to navigate it. And there's one thing that God showed me especially in 2025. God was like, there are 8 billion people in this earth. So if there's 8 billion people on the earth, one of those people are sure to be able to help you with what you need help with. And I feel like that was so freeing to me to recognize that I don't have to do life alone. And for me, I'm not 100% an introvert, but I do love my alone time. Um, but I think that sometimes when we feel like, oh, we have to figure it out on our own, like me being the oldest, I really felt like a lot of the stuff I had to figure out on my own. And just me connecting with God and God guiding me through things, God showing me, hey, Twania, you don't have to do it alone. There are 8 billion people on the earth. One of them is bound to help you. That really helped me a lot. So when we're looking for that alignment, recognizing we don't have to do it alone, recognizing that there are little sparks and we need to pay attention to those sparks. What are the things that we value? What are the things that that bring us joy? What do we believe in? Those things are so important for finding that alignment in our world. And so I wanted to take some time to just really share the fact that you don't have to do it by yourself. You really don't. It's a beautiful thing that we're on this earth with other people, and we don't have to do it by ourselves. So I'm actually right now in the process of building that community, a community of people that that we're all just sharing our spark together. And so at this point, I have some things that I'm working on specifically, but I do have things that I've already worked on. Some things in Fulfill You that is more about finding who you are in God, and in like finding the best of you. That's what Fulfill You is all about. So I would really love to connect with you, and to in order to connect in order to connect, I feel like the best way is to actually just show up on. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok under Fulfill You, and it's FULLFILLED, the letter U. So I would really love to be able to hear from you guys. If you were interested in finding that spark, and and seeing where God has for you to go, reach out to me. So, Tara, um, I am so grateful that you had me on this show today. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time to be able to first speak to your audience, but I also really enjoyed the things that you spoke about today. And it's so cool how God aligns these different things, like the things that you were talking about and the things that God shared with me to talk about. It's like, oh my gosh, it's it's aligned, and I think that's something that's so important for us to recognize, that God does care about us and God cares about alignment in our lives. So I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I can't hear. Hold on. I might need
You're
to
on
turn
mute,
you up.
hon.
Let me see.
That was
Okay.
No.
me. I was on
Okay.
mute. My
Okay.
bad. Thank you. I really was on mute over here just talking. No, thank you so much for that. And thank you for sharing your spark too. I do marvel also at God and how this show is not practiced prior to us being live. None of my shows are. And so God always pulls them all together. And so the
Mhm.
fact that you're talking about being out of alignment, what that looks and feels like, and being in alignment, it goes right along with make a choice. Like
Right.
you said that you had the back pain wasn't the first time, the back situation or injury wasn't the first time you felt yourself out of alignment.
Right.
And so that goes right along with the food for thought quote for today is that you can rise to if you do not rise to the occasion, you will lose. And that's a
Yeah.
choice that you're making you
Mhm.
know and so in any areas of our lives, that's that's the choice that we're making. Somebody says say that. Robert Hubbard, I believe, says say that. Thank you, Robert. And so one thing I do love, y'all, because I know Twania, she is a really really good close friend of mine, and she definitely she is a spark. Okay. And she will light your she will definitely listen to you and point out where you light up when you communicate, point out where your heart skips a beat with something that you're saying that you may not even realize it. And if you see her, y'all, I call her a dance machine. If you get that close to this introverted woman, um then you'll get to see there's a freedom in community. You mentioned that. You
Yeah.
mentioned having the right community. Your community should light your fire. Your
Right.
community should not be a community that pours water or throws, sprinkles water on your fire. Your community should definitely be one that lights your fire so that you can, like Twania helps you with, find your spark and keep it as well. So again, guys, if you do need help or support finding your spark, because I am no longer a life coach, and even if I was, I don't do what she does. So I didn't do what she's doing with you guys right now. But if you find yourself in need of a life coach or some type of services, in order to find your spark, in order to live a full and filled life and be a full filled you, please connect with her. She says she's on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook at full FULL field FILLEDU. Correct?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
The letter
Okay.
U. The letter U.
Yes, the letter U, not YOU. Yes. And so please connect with her. Please look her up, guys. And yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, because it just went right along with everything, even the devotional portion of the show where I was talking about peace and joy, and what would you live for and live well for, and you mentioned your babies, you mentioned your own mental, or everybody's mental, and what was that, mental and physical health and well-being, and all the things, really, all the things, but it's about choosing to live well. It's about choosing to find your spark. I can't say it enough, y'all. It's about choosing to find your spark and live your best life, affirming yourself and aligning yourself with the you desire to be. Quania asked me before, which she always has a thought, y'all. I'm so surprised she didn't say I had a thought. That is her mind. If you get her to say that, please listen, okay, to her thoughts, because it's going to be like some profound information in there, and it's going to penetrate you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So be aware of that. And I forgot where I was just going with that. I lost it. I lost where I was going with it. But however, and yet and still, y'all, be sure to know what you would live for and live well for, and choose that, and go into that direction. Affirm yourself in that way. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. This is what it was. She asked me, what does that look like? Like, what does the me in the future look like? And that was what she asked me. What does that look like for you? Who does she look like? And so think about those things too, you guys. If you're suffering right now, okay, according to the scriptures, right? If you're suffering and you need to be persevering and you need to build character, you need your hope again. Think about that. What does me with hope, a character, having persevered and gotten through the suffering look like? How do I want to come out of this thing? Okay. So think about that. And think about this too. Like what she said, spark. I don't know why that stuck with me today. Let that be your word for the week, guys. Spark, light a fire. Okay. Take that with you this week. Ignite something beautiful in your life this week. And thank you, Tanya, for sharing that enlightenment today on the show. Okay. And so y'all take that into your week and figure out, what does the you outside of all the things you may be facing and going through right now look like? Okay. This has been Tea Time with Tara, live and on air. I'm your host, Tara M. Williams, the voice of faith, hope, love, and leadership. We're here every Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We believe you have a voice and it needs to be heard. This is also business and Bible basics. If you haven't already, head over to my YouTube channel at Stalk Your Destiny. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. Check out our guest, Twania Dawn, at Fulfilled You on Instagram, TikTok, and or Facebook. Y'all, come right back here next Monday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Until then, have a beautiful week. Be the spark or find the spark, okay? And light somebody else's fire, okay? And take that with you. You can make it through. And we're rooting for you. Until then, y'all, have a great week. Thank you, Twania.
Thank you.
I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it down, but I won't lose ground. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.
Every time it's on everything, alive, you cheesing, I'm cheddaring. No matter the form of the weaponry, gotta keep stalking my destiny. Time's getting worse, I'm bettering. My sin is secure, ain't no tethering. I ain't gonna stop till I rest in peace and they put some hold on my great lettering. Every time, I ain't lay back unless I'm in my 300. Circle is little, cause I keep it 100. Minus my issues, I'm so hard when I'm on it. 100% ain't enough, I get 200. Every time, know what I'ma run from. I'm that one opponent, you don't want none from. Manual van where my strength get pumped from. So let's go ride to a child of God. Standing toe to toe, no hiding now. The Lord is with me, you can't fight the rock, I got the sauce, you want my to hide. The destiny mine, I'ma stalk it out. The strength is having, you just bought it out. Your giant carcass, I'ma walk it out. You gon' be wishing that you wouldn't have caught me out. Cause every time be on that throw down, let's get us a showdown. Come and get some, I got another go around. Big as it is, so hard they go down. Since destiny something we can't change, but quitting will stop you from great gains. And faith will make capable great things. I done decided to break pain. Lives around and call me on my A game, so speed like the A train. The thing that I'm stalking on, I gotta maintain. All by myself, I don't gang bang. When you want to get in my crown, then I'm down every time, not just now and then. Yeah, I heard you got your thousands, but me, yo, I got my 10,000s. God gave me dreams doing that, I would chase them.
I'm steady chasing, I'm staying focused on what I'm gonna be. I'm making it go, but I won't lose love. 'Cause I'm still stuck in my destiny. I'm still stuck in my destiny.